What happens when someone refuses to play by the rules? Well, meet Ricky Gervais. This is a man who looks Hollywood's biggest stars dead in the eye and laughs. A man who bashes everything celebrities stand for and calls out everyone who hangs on to the words of celebrities like their life depends on it. Not only is he a comedian and provocateur, but he also doesn't care about being liked.
People are the worst.
They're absolutely the worst.
But what happens
This
if you...
world would be better without them, right? So, no, honestly...
But you are a people.
Yeah, I know. I don't like me. I don't like me.
For Ricky, it's not just about comedy. It's a crusade. A crusade against what he calls the woke hypocrisy of Hollywood. But the real question is he just stirring the pot, or is he onto something we've all been quietly thinking? It's hard to read between the lines of celebrity speeches and endorsements because the media controls most of our lives. But Ricky takes on the role of a Trojan hero, absolutely destroying their woke ideals and morals.
How arrogant are you to think that you deserve to go through life with no one ever saying anything that you don't agree with or like?
Picture this, a room filled with Hollywood royalty dressed to the nines, sipping champagne worth more than your rent. And there's Ricky, standing at the podium, cracking jokes that make everyone uncomfortable. Why? Because he doesn't care about their approval. He cares about calling people out for their false images and grandeur. It's not what really matters, not in the face of problems like hunger, war, and famine.
Well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you?
ISIS is a low blow, but it's the only way to point out how deeply flawed the Hollywood industry truly is. It's all about making money, finding the next big gig for the next big break, and doesn't focus enough on bringing change. But here's the twist. Ricky Gervais isn't only focused on poking fun. He's pointing out the cracks in the foundation of the Hollywood industry.
You like to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world.
Savage, isn't it? But think about it, he's not entirely wrong. These celebrities champion causes from their private jets and deliver moral lectures from multi-million-dollar mansions. It's hard to think the very people who are responsible for climate change and high CO2 emissions actually care about the world they live in. So how can their declarations be genuine? Ricky already has us questioning whether or not these people are actually fit to be role models.
Can't the Academy just give everyone what they want and let Ricky Gervais host the Oscars? They'd never let me host the Oscars. I would do it if they said, you can say what you want, and they'd never do that.
Now, his biggest roast session was during the Golden Globes, and the backlash was too intense for Hollywood stars. There's no way they would let him stand on stage during the Oscars and berate every star who dares to receive an award from an industry that's filled with hypocrisy. Before we talk about his most controversial roast session yet, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Let's zoom out for a moment. What even is woke culture? For some, it's a push for justice and equality. It's the recognition of individual differences and a call to action. But for Ricky, he sees it as a tool the elite use to shield themselves from public scrutiny of their flamboyant lifestyle. They want to deflect criticism and say, hey, at least we believe in world peace.
I've just been meditating, and I got to thinking about all the war and oppression in the world, and I thought, should I actually go to those countries and fight and really make a difference? Then I thought, no, just do this video.
Well, that was well overdue. It's kind of shocking that he was able to post something so blatantly sarcastic and rude towards the influencer community. But then again, they preach actions they don't do. Therefore, who gives them the right to tell us to meditate to help bring world peace? It's funny, right? But also unsettling. Ricky uses his jokes to take aim at the bigger picture, like when he named Caitlyn Jenner. Did he cross a line? The joke seems pretty harmless, but it also successfully calls out Caitlyn's actions during her car accident that took the life of a man.
I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously. Now Caitlyn Jenner, of course. What a year she's had. She became a role model for trans people everywhere, showing great bravery in breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers, but...
But here's the thing, Ricky isn't afraid to get personal. He attacks other people, but he also calls himself out. Some of his jokes are about him, but we don't see him getting mad about it and even taking it more seriously than it needs to be. Sarcasm is his weapon, and no one, not even himself, is off limits.
Grant Bovey came out at 8% fat. I came out at 25. Which is more than I could vote for, really. But you know what? Rick Waller came out 60% fat. I looked that up. That is the same percentage fat as a pork scratching.
Maybe this is why he doesn't think twice before calling anyone else out. You can't cancel someone who refuses to take themselves too seriously.
You don't care about dying?
No, I don't. Well, I don't care about being dead. Because I won't know about it.
You don't know?
That is the best thing about being dead. You don't know about it. It's like being stupid. It's only painful for others. So...
Ricky is known to take small icks and turn them into jokes. He lives to see people laugh, even if it may make him seem like the bad guy. So if he hates people, he hates himself too. All of us can take a deep breath and chill, because the attacks are against mankind, including himself. Ricky meets a lot of backlash for his words and opinions. They're just jokes, right? So what's the harm? It turns out that everything, including comedy, has rules. People are coming out about how jokes should uplift other people and humor should never be at the expense of someone else. But what's the fun in that? Words aren't really violence, and it's important to understand the difference.
If you're beating up a disabled toddler, you know what I mean? If you punch up, you'll miss the little cunt and he'll win, you know? I like that joke because it highlights the difference between metaphorical punching down in jokes and actual punching down. But people nowadays want you to believe that words are actual violence.
The point he's making seems pretty valid. Everyone laughed at his joke about punching a toddler, when in reality we know if it happened in real life, no one would be laughing. That's the difference between words and actions. At the heart of it, Ricky's message is simple. If you try to please everyone, you'll end up pleasing no one. He's daring us to think critically, to laugh at the absurdity of our own contradictions, and maybe, just maybe, to lighten up a bit. So, what do you think? Is Ricky Gervais a hero of free speech or just an entertainer pushing everyone's buttons to get a rise out of them? One thing's for sure, he's not afraid to stand up alone in front of thousands and share his opinions disguised as jokes. Should he be canceled or should we let him be? Let us know in the comments below, and like and subscribe if you want to stay updated on the latest celebrity news.